Look at these
Whoa.
calves.
Hi, I'm Mike Pettit with the Metro Pros of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate. Welcome to our podcast, LMAO, Let's Make an Offer.
Let's.
Thank you, John.
Welcome. Absolutely.
John Esbrooks here from Option Mortgage. As always, John is a great resource and great loan officer and lender to work with. You can always stop by optionmortgage.com and fill out an app, ask John questions. He'll help you out. Very responsive and does a great job. So there you go. We also have Rich Edwards here. Rich is a very seasoned agent. He's laughing. Rich,
Old,
honestly,
otherwise known as old. Thanks.
No, he got his license when he was 4, and he's been doing this like 30 years. So I mean, it was before they set the age limit on licenses. So
Exactly.
Rich has been doing this a long time, helping a lot of people. Great guy to work with, and tons of knowledge and really can help you out. So Rich, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Guys, I want to talk about the big elephant in the room. And
Don't.
what? The elephant in the room is, you hear this all the time from people. The market's going to crash. I'm going to wait for the market to crash and I'm going to buy. Well,
Keep waiting.
is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Rich, what's your response to that?
You know what? At the end of the day, it is, well, first of all, obviously we're in the Midwest where we're insulated by a lot of what we see on the coasts. But it all boils down to supply and demand. And there's still a huge shortage of inventory of homes. And that will, I think that in itself will prevent any crash occurring.
Well, and you mentioned that, and I would like to get into some of the numbers about that, because nationally we're millions of homes short of what we need to fulfill the demand.
Yep.
Locally here we're 8,000 to 10,000 homes short of what we need. And, you know, it's easy to see. Drive around town and you see thousands of apartment units going up all over the place.
Yeah.
All over, from Bennington down to Papillion and everywhere in between. I mean, so when you look at that, Omaha has grown quicker than the census predicted. You know, the last census that was taken, we actually grew about double the rate they projected. So a lot of people are coming to Omaha. We have low unemployment, about 2%.
Yeah.
Good cost of living. Housing is affordable. It's gone up, but it's affordable, especially compared to other
When you
other
compare
cities.
to other markets.
Even like Des Moines, you know, a smaller city, housing is more expensive there than it is here in Omaha. So there's a lot to consider, but you know, in addition to the housing shortage, I think you need to look at the demand that's out there and what's coming.
Right.
So let's talk about demand. What are you seeing out there for demand, even as rates are around 7%?
You know what? There's still a high demand, absolutely. It varies drastically between price points. You know, and I think John would agree. Under 300 is still, you know, our most challenging price point for buyers, and the sellers are definitely in the driver's seat in that price point. We still see multiple offers, but there's less competition than we've had in the past. And then when you go over 300, say, you know, 350 to 500, there's some homes out there that are priced, I don't want to say discounted, because they're not discounted, but they're you can get a fair price for them. And then also we're seeing that in the 400 to 600 range, where some homes are actually sitting on the market for a couple of weeks, maybe seeing some price decreases and some incentives coming from some different builders.
Yeah, you look at the market and sales, pending home sales, homes that go under contract are going to be down 15 to 20% this year over last year. And you think, oh my gosh, you know, the market it's going down. I mean, prices tend to be dropping. No, they're not. We're still seeing appreciation. We're averaging about 6.5% appreciation year over year for this year.
Yeah.
So we're still seeing decent appreciation for sellers. And so a lot of buyers are sitting there going, well, I'm going to wait. I'll wait until next year when rates drop, and I'll get a better price.
You and everybody else. Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
I mean, John, what's your opinion on this?
I think, suck it up and take the rate today. What's the adage?
Date the rate,
marry the house. Date the rate, marry the house. And to combat this issue with rates where they are right now, I've been selling a lot of the temporary rate buy downs. So brief on the team, she reached out to me yesterday and said, John, this $475,000 house, it doesn't sound like they really want to budge on the price, but they're willing to give some concessions. And I said, well, how much do you think? She said, around $10,000. I said, well, that's perfect for a 2-1 buy down.
And what is a 2-1 buy down?
2-1 buy down, let's say the interest rate today, if we locked in today, we're closing in 45 days, it's at 7%, right? Well, we can take the $10,000 seller credit and do a temporary rate buy down. So a 2-1 would cost about $10,000 on that loan amount of $475. And so the first year of mortgage payments would be at 5%. That would save them $600 a month. Okay, year 2 would be 6%, and that would save about $300 a month. And then year 3 and beyond would be at the 7% fixed for the life of the loan, 30 years. What's cool about it is if rates come down anytime during that period, you can get the lower rate and apply all what's left over in this temporary buy down account to your new mortgage. So you basically pay all the closing costs and buy down your mortgage loan amount too.
And everybody thinks rates are going to drop here in the next 6 to 12 months.
Right.
Everybody you listen to and all economists and everything else. So that's a great way to look at it versus, instead of paying $475, I'm going to make an offer of $465. That $10,000 off the price of the home is only going to save you about $70 a month versus if you do the buy down and pay them full price and get that credit, you're able to pay that buy down and get a 5%, like you said, save about $600 a month, and then $300 the second year, and then refinance as rates drop.
And the people that are on the sidelines right now, that $475,000 house, and a year from now, if rates come down like they're expected to, that might be a $520,000 house.
Yeah.
So it's and then you have the ability to refinance if you buy now, down when rates get lower, and you earned all that equity.
The other thing for buyers is, that let's say you're buying a $300,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
That $300,000 house a year from now is going to be $320,000, $325,000.
Easy.
Plus, if rates drop to where they're expected, below 6 next year, we're going to have a feeding frenzy like we did a couple years ago, where you're seeing 20, 30, 40, 50 offers on houses, and they're going for 10 to 15% above asking price. So why would you put yourself in the boat of, can I buy a $300,000 house now, or do I want to pay $320,000 next year? And you're not going to pay $320,000, you're going to pay $340,000, $350,000 for that same house, and you're not really saving a whole lot when you can look at the buy down programs.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's important to look at.
Now's the time. I mean, if and there's so many people that are in the boat of, I'm going to wait till the rates start coming down, and everybody has that mindset, and that's why if you can buy now, because less competition, the homes are on the market, they're a little bit more competitively priced. If you can buy now, this is the time to do it versus waiting till the rates come down. Yeah.
Well, some people listening may be going, oh, you guys are just saying that because you're in the business, you want to get a sale or something. You have to look at all the data that backs up what we're saying. This just isn't a random opinion that we have that supply and demand is going to be different.
Yeah.
We're looking at 8,000 to 10,000 homes short. We're looking at huge pent-up demand currently, and a lot of people went to the sidelines this year who are waiting for rates to drop, which is a mistake. Now, let's say rates drop below 6. All those people that are on the sidelines are going to jump into the market. That's going to drive prices up. It's going to have more competitive offers, multiple offer situations again. In addition to that, the largest population base in the U.S. history is going to be coming in the market to buy houses in the next 3 to 5 years. That's the millennials. That biggest demographic. So the numbers don't lie. Housing shortage, huge housing shortage, huge population coming in, huge pent-up demand. Prices are not going to crash. This is not 2008. There aren't all these bad loans out there. You know, you do hear things about commercial properties. You know, what are those owners going to do when their loans come due? And instead of having a 3 or 4% loan, now they're going to have an 8% loan. There's going to be issues with multifamily and commercial properties. That's a different boat than mortgages. Mortgages are typically, most people are doing a 30-year fixed. So that's a huge difference. So if you hear a story about, oh my gosh, it's going to be a crisis in real estate or something, they're talking about commercial real estate and what's going to happen with those owners, and can they afford the property when it goes from 3 or 4% to 8%? And you know, right now they're cash flowing really well. But what's going to happen when those rates double? That's going to be interesting to see. But in the residential world, all the statistics and numbers and everything point towards continued appreciation. Maybe not where we were 2-3 years ago, where we were seeing 15% appreciation.
But still steady.
But still steady in the mid, single digits, and it's a great time to buy. The other thing is, like, if you buy now, not only are you not paying more later for the house, you buy now, a year from now, you've got equity of $20,000 you didn't have.
Right. And it's funny, there's so many people that go, the rates are too high, I'm gonna wait till it, well, unrealistically, people think they're gonna get back down to that 3 range. That, I don't know.
Never gonna happen again.
I mean, that was, a one-time.
That was the economy, that was COVID, that was a lot of things.
All kinds of things.
Buying the mortgage-backed securities, keeping the prices down.
Yeah, government was trying to.
Yeah, but we're gonna wait till it gets down to 5 or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you're a first-time buyer and you're renting, you're paying 100% interest.
Yep.
I mean, so 100% interest versus 7 or 7.25. Start paying yourself, start investing in yourself, and even if it's not the perfect home, get into a home and start building after.
So the first house I bought was 7.75% interest rate. Which it is what it is. I mean, that's what the rates were, and we needed a place to live, so we bought this house. Now, it wasn't as big of a house as we would have been able to get if they were 3%, but it wasn't available.
Right.
And so I think people are understanding now, or at least starting to understand, they're never going back to 3. But if you think waiting is the solution, and prices are going to come down, and I hear this a lot in new construction too. Oh, new construction prices are going to drop. New construction prices never drop.
They've leveled, they've
They'll
balanced.
level, but they don't drop.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, even look at 2008 and 9 when the housing crisis was going on. Prices leveled out. They didn't increase for a couple of years, several years, but they did not go backwards. So you need to look at all these things and make a determination for yourself what the best option is. And John with Option Mortgage gives you tons of loan opportunities and products that you can work with.
Guru.
The loan guru. I like that.
That's
You gonna trademark that?
Yeah, tagline.
Pretty good.
It's on your cards.
So go to the loan guru, John, and see it's sticking, John.
Yeah.
John can help you out and get you a great rate and everything, and put you in a program that works best for you, because it is not the time to wait. This market is not going to crash. Even on the coast, you're not seeing it crash. And typically, the coast where things got overinflated, overheated, those are the areas that you're going to see bigger reductions in price. Here in the Midwest and throughout the entire Midwest, we're seeing appreciation year over year. So it's a local real estate market. You can't just look at national numbers. Right. And overall, even if you look at the markets that went up way too much in price and are seeing small corrections, it's not a crash where we saw 2008-9 where you saw 40-50% drop in value in these same areas. We're seeing single digit depreciation in some of these areas. But I think the whole thing is you got to keep an open mind. You got to explore all the options. You got to look at all the data and make an informed decision. So if you're not sure, and I know the big stories are always the market's going to crash, or you got Uncle Ed telling you it's going to crash and wait. How about talk to somebody in the business who understands this, who deals with this every day, who knows all these things, and can help you out. Rich is excellent at that. John's excellent at it. I'm okay at it.
You're good. You're good.
I will say
Don't sell
something
yourself
about
short.
asking family about their opinion on the market, and you get mixed reviews, but at the end of the day, whose money is it that is buying this house? Okay, if your parents are giving you a nice gift, that's one thing, but you got to make that decision for yourself. And I take advice from my parents all the time, but some of it's just
You don't listen though. Come on.
some of it I definitely don't. But it just kind of do your own research, talk to actual people that are in the industry and in it day in and day out.
You bring up a good point about listening to other people and what you're going to do and when you're going to buy and things like that. I see a lot, I'm sure you do too, Rich, that a lot of times a buyer is looking towards their girlfriend or boyfriend and they're giving their opinions on what the person should buy.
Right.
It's like, well, they're not on loan. They're not buying the house with you. So buy a house that's for you and
Right.
what you want. Don't
And what
buy it
makes
for
you
somebody
happy,
else, which is important.
Yep, absolutely. And also, right now, it just, I'm drawing a blank. One of the biggest ways or benefits that we have on our team is we have a lot of office exclusive or team exclusive listings that, quite frankly, have you ever driven through the neighborhood and all of a sudden you see a sold sign, you go, when did that puppy go on sale? I didn't even see it on MLS. And that's just an example of our network that we have on the team, and specific homes that a lot of times, that's the benefit of working with a team of 20 agents that have those relationships and can possibly find a home that otherwise you would not see on the open market.
So you mentioned that, Rich, and nobody knows this, but over 20% of the homes sold in the last year were off-market deals. Never got on the MLS, never got on Zillow, never was on Realtor.com or anything like that. So if you're out there looking for a home and you can't find one, you need to be working with an agent on a team like ours, where not just our clients, but over 20% of the market, those homes never hit the market.
Right. So
do yourself a favor and open the door to that.
just one of the values of working with a seasoned agent that has been around for a long time and has long-term relationships with buyers and sellers.
And Rich has been around doing this for 30 plus years, right?
Exactly. Pretty close.
So he's 34 now.
Yeah.
35.
Exactly. Pushing. Yeah.
John, anything else as far as the market and whether it's going to crash or not?
It's not crashing.
It's not crashing.
I think you'll see some dips in the stock market, but real estate in general is we're pretty safe here.
How about investors looking at investment properties?
Yeah.
Great time.
Are there still deals out there for people?
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Doing a bank statement loan right now. First time investors. There's plenty of demand for rental properties, and your return on investment isn't as high as getting a 3% mortgage, but the returns are still fairly high.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, even if you don't have huge amounts of cash flow on an investment property, you have somebody else buying an investment for you.
Yep.
And you get tax benefits, and you're building equity, and you're seeing appreciation.
And you're tangible. It's tangible. You can touch it.
Yeah.
I love that part.
You can't touch your stocks.
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, guys, I appreciate you being here. Rich, it's always good to see you. John, good seeing you. I didn't say always good to see you, but it's good to see you.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most all the time.
We hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Rich.themetropros.com is his website.
Give me a jingle anytime. 402-320-7424.
Or get a hold of John at optionmortgage.com.
or 402-616-0973.
Guys, you guys do that like you practiced.
I don't know your number, Mike, or I'd help you out.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and we'll talk to you all soon.